Hello and welcome to NDI November. I'm your host, Dan Hirshorn, member of the Broadfield Sales Engineering team. We've got a great show for you today with our longtime partner from Matrox Vion, who've been in business for about 50 years, Broadfield for 40 plus years, and a fruitful relationship between the two companies for over 25 years. So really excited to introduce Jim McClean from the Matrox team. Jim, how are you?
Dan, I'm doing great, and thank you for having me today. Excited to chat about some NDI workflows and challenges and solutions with you.
Awesome. So can you give us a quick overview of the new Matrox Vion and what makes it such a significant addition to the Matrox video lineup and where it fits into the existing Matrox ecosystem?
Absolutely, sounds great. Vion is a flexible multi-channel IP gateway. Instead of being locked into a single IP standard or even multiple IP islands, Vion is part of the critical infrastructure needed to convert, process, and distribute high-quality video. Um, and relative to really why we're here, NDI November, NDI is obviously one of those IP formats, along with 2110, SDI, and others.
So how does Vion help end users bridge NDI with other IP standards?
I like to think of this, as a customer workflow. Vion is a bidirectional conversion hub. It'll take NDI input and convert it to, again, 2110, SRT, other IP standards. But, for example, if you had a high quality NDI stream coming from a camera or a graphics workstation and had a requirement to translate that into your 2110 broadcast environment, um, and simultaneously output that via your SDI infrastructure, Vion, that's what we're built for in the broadcast world. And what does that mean? You can leverage all of the existing equipment that you have and move it throughout your IP infrastructure.
Beautiful. So when you look at today's live production environments, whether in broadcast, events, corporate AV, so what kind of challenges are creators facing that Vion can directly help solve?
Traditionally, people think of converters as single-purpose devices, and there are a lot of converters out in the market that are essential to all of the types of customer projects that you just mentioned. But Vion provides simultaneous encoding and decoding for multiple streams. You're not locked into a specific one-to-one conversion.
Super
And
interesting. Yeah, I just want to call out how versatile of a product this makes it in terms of having the options and flexibilities for the different protocols. It is really a compelling sort of discussion point for customers sending video anywhere and doing almost anything with video at this point. So you guys are ahead of the curve on this and continue to stay nimble and agile in your development and as you roadmap out here.
thank
Um,
you.
yeah,
Um,
what
and I think I see you've brought up a chart that illustrates that. um, I like to think of Vion as almost any IP source in and any IP source out. It's probably a lot to process in the time we have here together. Obviously, anybody who's on this in this meeting sees this content, feel free to call Broadfield, feel free to reach out to Matrox, and we can provide much more in-depth support and understanding of the challenges you're looking to solve.
Yeah, Jim, and I'll also shout out that my sales engineering team here is an extension of the Matrox sales and technical teams. So Feel free to reach out to us directly with any questions on how Matrox could enhance or fit into your existing workflows, or if you'd just like to know more about the product line, we're happy to start that conversation. And we work closely, as I mentioned, for 20 plus years with Matrox to make sure that these solutions are being delivered and are working to our end users and through our dealers. So, treat myself and my team as an extension of the Matrox team. We are here to help. We are here to start those conversations and really guide you through to see what those possibilities are.
And from a Matrox standpoint, know that we support Broadfield, and we'll support Broadfield's customers with whatever their requirements are.
Now, for integrators and end users, Jim, what sort of advice would you give about planning a workflow that supports multiple protocols?
Oftentimes those multiple protocols have just sprung up. When you think of old school broadcast, it's all SDI infrastructure. There's been a lot of movement towards 2110, and there are complete 2110 broadcast facilities out there. But the reality is that most of them are hybrids, and it's not all entirely planned as if you were building a new facility from scratch. So you need versatile solutions, and the reality is you're going to have multiple IP formats that are out there, which makes devices like Vion super valuable. And the conversion between baseband and IP, whether that IP is 2110 or IPMX, we're seeing a lot of that. And one of the things that Matrox has been known for is building an IP ecosystem. And Vion is a portion of that, but there are other solutions as well. For example, if you were looking to put, let's say, broadcast 2110 content on an SDI or HDMI monitor, we have a line of products called Convert IP that will do just that. Like Vion, they're bidirectional. So if you wanted to bring baseband content into a 2110 environment, the Matrox Convert IP line that's what it's built for.
Beautiful. So, Jim, I actually pulled up a workflow chart here. Maybe this is something that you can help us sort of envision where the Vion sits inside of a traditional broadcast workflow.
Okay. Thank you for making that larger. As an IP bridge, an IP gateway, we are well suited for being the conversion point, the bidirectional conversion point between your cameras, your vision mixers, monitoring and display solutions as well, but also to take that content across a facility or even over the open internet to another facility, and it doesn't have to be open internet. It could be dedicated links as well. What that might mean is that you want to take your PTZ camera that is perhaps NDI, output it over the internet via SRT, and receive it either in the cloud or at an additional broadcast facility via SRT. And on the SRT end, our Monarch Edge encoders would take that signal and distribute it out over an SDI network. And that'd be at the remote facility.
Super interesting. And keep in mind, this is just one of a plethora of ways that you can spin this wheel and sort of utilize this technology. So if you have workflow questions, you're not sure where the Vion sits in or could fit into an existing workflow, please reach out to us at Broadfield as well as the Matrox team. We're happy to connect you and work through this and provide documentation as needed for whatever format protocols are needed in a specific workflow. This is a flexible product that we're excited to work with, and we're excited to work with the Matrox team to flesh anything out for you.
And that's a really good point, because as you know, almost anything IP to almost anything IP, and the workflow possibilities are endless, which is why it's really valuable to speak either with the experts at Broadfield, and actually that's a great starting point. Start with the experts at Broadfield, and Matrox will support them as needed.
Beautiful. Just trying to wrap things up a little bit, just curious, Jim, what excites you most about where IP video and NDI are headed, and how is Matrox Video positioned to lead that in the future?
Interesting. Well, we're very much focused on promoting open standards. Our solutions that support 2110, IPMX, and NDI, along with our longtime history with baseband solutions, whether that's SDI or HDMI, I think positions us well to support whatever customer environment exists or is being planned. And again, I like to think of us as an IP ecosystem company, and we have the tools to support that.
Beautiful. Well, I think that really leads us into the end here. Just a heads up that the Matrox Vion is shipping now. So like we've been saying over and over, please reach out to your Broadfield team here. Happy to help you get quoted and get this gear out into your customers. Jim, any parting thoughts here on NDI before I let you go?
NDI is everywhere, whether it was planned or unplanned in an environment. Matrox has tools to help integrate that with other IP protocols and broadcast standards like 2110 and SDI.
Beautiful, and totally agreed. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in to this episode of NDI November. We've got plenty more content coming this month, so keep your eyes to the ground and ears to the ground as well for more interesting NDI content. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thanks for having me.